Once the room, all of the rooms in the St. Martha are set up, the cardinals walk into the Sistine Chapel. There are now all sorts of listening devices and jamming devices to stop the listening devices so that people can't hear what's going on. And a particular Vatican official yells loudly, or rather, he's supposed to yell loudly, "Extra omnes! Everybody else out!" The last two times he barely whispered it into a microphone. This dramatic moment that was kind of blown. And the cardinals, and now you see the red that they're wearing with that hint of orange in there, are seated. In front of them is a list of all of the cardinals in alphabetical order and a book that details the process governing the election. And so repeatedly, 3 or 4 people from the College of Cardinals are called in turn to serve roles within gathering the ballots, reading the ballots, not writing the names down, and people basically take turns doing it. So it's self-regulating, if you will. There are no campaign speeches. Of course, there's campaigning. Let's not be naive. But the campaign speeches, the strong arming, the gentle discussions, they're taking place over meals. They're taking place as they're walking back and forth to their rooms. The only thing they actually do in the Sistine Chapel is vote. And you can't see the detail in this particular slide, but go to the Washington Post, which had a rather elaborate and clear and very good cutaway of what happens in the process. I'm telling you what's represented there. Each is given a ballot. These are some older blank ballots. We have some ballot. Oh, this one has a name in it, Matea. We have some. Fred Baumgartner found some ballots from the 1600s where apparently someone was so disgusted with all of the candidates, the quality of the candidates, that he wrote nullus, Cardinal nullus. Nobody here is any good. Let's not pick any of them. So what you must do as a cardinal is in the morning and in the afternoon, you sit down to vote, and there are 2 votes in each sitting. So you sit down to vote twice, but in a day, there is a total of 4 votes, 2 in the morning, a break, 2 in the afternoon. So you write down on your ballot the name of the person, which in Latin turns out as, "I call as my witness Christ the Lord, who will be my judge, that my vote is given to the one who before God I think should be elected." It used to be gathered in a chalice. Now there are so many cardinals, they put them in these big urns that look not unlike a wok. They swirl the urns around after every single cardinal has walked up and pronounced this in Latin, and they count the ballots. If there are 114 people in the room and there are 115 ballots, they don't even open them. If there are 114 people in the room and there are 113 ballots, they don't even open them. They burn them. But if there's 115 people and 115 ballots, they start counting. The first person opens the ballot, writes down the name, hands it to a second person who reads the name silently as well, writes it down. It's the third person, chosen by random, who calls out the name. And then, I kid you not, with a needle and thread, punches the ballot through so that it is declared counted. And you should all think now about the American election of 2000 and hanging chads down in Florida. If someone gets the correct number of votes, he is then, if somebody doesn't get the correct number of votes, they proceed immediately to another election. If you get the correct number of votes, they ask you 2 questions. In Latin, you can ask questions to get a yes answer or a no answer. In Latin, they ask the question this way, acceptasne, which means you do elect, you do accept election, don't you? So it's asking for a yes answer. And then, by what name will you be called? And that's always a rather interesting discussion in the next day or two when the Pope explains why he chose this or that name.